Hello everybody, how's it going? My name's Capers, and before we jump into your weekly wrap-up, I did just have a very quick and very high-quality announcement for you. As you can see on the screen right now, Rad Nauseam is hosting its first ever 7-Point Highlander event. This is an invitational qualifier for the event to end all events. We're hosting it on the 26th of October at Games Portal in Mitcham, Victoria, and it's a playtest-friendly event, which means you can play whatever deck you want. Hell, you can even play Storm. That's right, this event is going to be playtest friendly, and it is itself an invitational event. If you're interested, jump into our Discord and hit one of us up. Love your work and enjoy your roundup. See ya.
Hello to everyone, and welcome back to our high-quality PowerPoint presentation weekly roundup. I got the lovely Billy here today, aka Kixian. How are we going?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm excited to look back at the past week and see what's been going on around the country.
Yeah, we've got a lot of cool decks this week.
Yeah, starting off with some cool decks. We're in Adelaide for the Win Academy. We had 12 players here. The top 4 consisted of Demir Reanimator / Thoracle, On-Math Midrange, Goblins, and Blue Moon.
Yeah, just tried and true deck lists here. We've seen a few Reanimator Thoracle lists popping up here and there, sometimes Bug, sometimes Demir, and, always putting up results.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool hybrid thing you can be doing with these decks. Obviously, reanimating a Thoracle with no cards in your library is as good as playing a Thoracle from hand with no cards in your library.
Very true.
Next up, we're going straight to Canberra. We had our classic Monday Dot Games, 24 players, with Grixis Reanimator, Mardu Midrange, and 8-Point Blue Moon taking the 3-0 slot. And then some classic favourites of Jund, Breach Bond, Scales, Grixis, Naya Aggro, Jeskai Time Vault, Blue Moon, Walks, Forest Legends, and Tolarian Wheels also going positive.
Yeah, this looks like a classic Jog Games Weekly. They've always got good numbers in the 20-plus players, and they've always got, just what looks like a pretty diverse field. A lot of 8-point decks. Looks really cool. Looks fun.
And shout out Nadu Breakfast. Not going positive today, unfortunately, but it's a very sweet list to see popping up. Down to Melbourne here. I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, Mazer Fitzroy, I was at this one, and we have a mystery winner at 3 wins and 0 loss. Technically not winning, equal with the 3 wins and 1 loss, but someone, it was Damon actually, managed to go 3 wins, 0 losses, and then just decided, I've had enough, I'm going home. So we do have one mystery one. And then at 3 wins and 1 loss, surprise, surprise, we have Storm. We then also have Grixis, Goblins putting up the good fight, and Eldrazi.
Yeah, it's the second time we've seen Goblins so far, and we're only 2 or 3 slides in. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, a bit of a resurgence for the Goblins players, perhaps.
Next in Melbourne, we've got plenty of games. With a large listed deck list here. We've got 25 players on Wednesday. What's the story here?
Yeah, good healthy turnout at plenty of games. This one, it is correct in order. So Storm did win, and then downwards through the list. However, unfortunately, there was just an issue with the screenshotting, and we didn't actually manage to get who got how many wins. So this is correct in terms of order. It was Storm, 8-Point Dimir Moons, Mardu Midrange, Esper Mid, Nadu, etc. In that order and so on. But unfortunately, we don't have how many wins each pilot managed to put up this week.
Yeah, it's still good to see some interesting decks here. Bug Thoracle, I believe was Cody trying it. We've got a Deadpool Walks, just when you thought it couldn't get any worse. There's a Deadpool taking extra turns now as well.
Yeah, Deadpool everywhere, now spawning his own Walks deck. I believe this is just our very own Nathan Smale, who's cut his Attracts a Natural Order and put in a Deadpool. So, yeah, if it works.
Jumping off across the country here to Perth, we've got a double ID in the top spot again. We've got Jund and Abzan lands going 3-0-1. We've got Sultai Control, Jund, 8-Point Demir Moons, and Esper Midrange going 3-1, and Grixis and Boros still going positive with the 2-1-1 here. Anything interesting popping out to you?
Always a diverse field in Perth, and always a healthy number of players. I guess, Abzan lands, me and you are both big fans of lands of any variety, and so it's cool to see, Abzan lands going 3 wins and a draw.
Back across the country once again, not keeping it in any sort of organisation flight-wise, we've got Sydney. 3-1, we had Rakdos Madness, Boros Moonshine, 4-Colour Breach, and Boros Painter. Anything cool here? I know there is.
Yeah, there absolutely is, and it's obviously Boros Painter. I think we have that deck list, don't we?
We do. So here we have the Boros Painter list. Kind of sticking with the 2 colours with the Painter. We have our Oswald Fiddlebender and our Delivery Moogle. Trying to find these combo pieces. We've got Tezzeret. We do have Cloud and a Skull Clamp. Trying to grind in these non-blue shell, trying to draw some cards, along with the One Ring.
Yeah, and I'm also seeing the Goblin Welder, Goblin Engineer package, which is pretty sweet, particularly with the painter combos, but also I mean there's a nice synergistic melding here with a lot of these Boros decks, as you said, are on that Cloud Skull Clamp. Normally a slightly larger package as well with the pre-war formula and that. So you are already having a bit of an artifact package in these aggressive Boros decks. So it is kind of a nice marriage to have the welders and then the combo pieces in as well.
Yeah, and what do you think of Ratchet Field Medic here?
I think I'm going to have to read what it does. So do you want to read that one for us?
We have a 3-mana robot with more than meets the eye for 1 and a white. It's a life linking 2/4. Whenever you gain life, you may convert Ratchet. When you do, you return an artifact with mana value less than or equal to the amount of life you've gained this turn to the battlefield tapped from your graveyard. And his vehicle side with Living Metal is a life linking 1/4. That whenever 1 or more non-token artifacts you control are put into the graveyard, you can flip him back over.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds pretty cool. It's sort of doing somewhat of a weldery kind of thing on the front side. Obviously triggering itself with the lifelink there. So yeah, I mean, it seems synergistic. Seems like on plan.
Yeah, and it is an artifact itself if you do want to weld Ratchet away.
Also enjoying, I can see the Phyrexian Dragon Engine. Welding that one in and out is pretty fun. Managing to draw some cards there.
Yeah, it's kind of a mainstay of the current Legacy Painter decks, so it's cool to see this one pop up in some Highlander as well. We also have the Golgari Scales list from this week. So this deck is something I have no idea what's going on here. We're putting +1/+1 counters on some things.
Yeah, I mean, I'm familiar with Scales as an archetype, but I'm certainly not familiar with a lot of the cards that they play. We don't really see it too often down in Melbourne, but I mean, it looks sweet, right? Like you're putting counters here, there, and everywhere, and I guess just killing your opponent.
Yeah, and shout out to the Rug of Smothering in the sideboard. Trying to get ahead of those Storm matchups, I guess.
Yeah, not sure how much Storm there is located outside of Melbourne at the moment, but I mean, Rug of Smothering, if you manage to put into play, is going to do the job, I imagine.
Next up in Sydney, we had Chromatic Games with 15 players, and our top spot going to Grixis, taking a draw in the finals. Might be getting an early dinner or a late lunch here. We have 3-1, Mardu Affinity Painter, 8-point Rakdos Madness, 8-point Legends, and Flash.
Yeah, once again, some really cool lists. Mardu Affinity Painter sounds awesome. We didn't manage to get the deck list for that one, but I imagine it's along similar lines to that Boros one, working with those artifact packages. And then we have had the Rakdos Madness list on here before, and that's a really sweet one.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool variation of decks here. A lot of red going on, a lot of blue. But no Blue Moon.
Maybe next time.
Next, we're in Wollongong for a 9-player event on the Friday. And we had Gruul Lance taking the 3-0. 2-1.
Yeah, shout out to Lance.
Shout out to Gruul Lance. I believe they're putting in some cool new cards into play and some artifacts into play, which is kind of sweet to see. And we've got Nadu, Academy, Grixis, and Grixis also going positive on the day.
We do have this Paradox Academy list, but we will just quickly jump to the next slide to show off how well it's doing. And as you can see, Paradox Academy took out the event here.
Yeah, this is the Wollongong Winner Duel event. We had 29 players. Top 8, we had Academy, Jund, Aristocrats, Academy, Grixis, Jund, and Grixis. And Academy coming through all these mid-rangey piles and just sweep them through to the top. And here we have the Academy list. So do you know what these Academy decks are doing?
I assume they are playing a bunch of artifacts, and then they are making their artifacts go burr, and then they win. I don't know. There's probably some steps in between.
Yeah, the Paradox is the OT Paradox engine here. If you cast a spell, untapping all your non-land permanents, and the Academy, notably quite a powerful land in Clearing Academy. I guess you're untapping stuff like your One Ring, stuff like your Candelabra to make mana, your Mana Vault to make mana, and I guess just spinning the wheels, metaphorically, not physically. There's no twist or anything in this deck. And having outlets like Ballista, Ugin, Khan, and Tezzeret to kind of actually kill your opponent, I guess, once you've made bajillion mana and bajillion cards into your hand.
Yeah, we've got like Kozilek's Command there as well as like a good mana sink, and as you said, like Hive, Ugin, Khan. Obviously, 11 mana gets you a win on Khan, right? Cast Khan, grab the sideboard Mycosynth Lattice, and then lock your opponent out of the game. Actually, no, sorry, no, that's only 10 mana required, so, easy.
Yeah, take one home with you afterwards. Rounding off the week, we had the Friday Volti Fight Nights with 8-point Demir Moons getting the 4-0 here. And in the 3-1 slot, we got Bug, Thoracle Moons, Bomberman, Standstill, and a mystery player.
Yeah, really excited to find out what the mystery player was. Well, not find out because we're not going to, but equally as excited to take a look at this Azorius Standstill list.
Yes, this is a traditional kind of white-blue Standstill list here. Got some old staples, like Standstill itself. We've got a Shark Typhoon, we've got a Timeless Dragon. But the points are kind of interesting. I think you want to talk about the points here.
Yeah, I mean, this was a VFN, entry, and it sort of makes sense because you got points in Mox Pearl, Mox Sapphire, and Library of Alexandria. So that's going to lock a few people out of playing this deck in paper, but it does look super, super sweet, doesn't it? I mean, it's got a moat in it, right? Like, it's 2025 and it has a moat in it. Like, what more could you really want?
Yeah, I don't think there's much in the world that can kind of give you more joy than putting a moat into play. I think the only card missing here would be a Hall of Heliod Generosity to kind of start looping the Shark Typhoon.
Yeah, this is just sweet. Like, these sort of, not win con unless, obviously we've got, quite a few win cons in here, but just these really heavy control builds that are, just looking to say no to most, if not all, of what your opponent is doing. Ignore the stuff that you don't care about because, you have a moat. And then, just get there with a Shark Typhoon. I can't imagine the Shark Typhoon's getting hard cast that often, but I mean, I hope it is. I would love to see that.
Finally, last night we had the Volti Invitational for the event-to-event all events, and there were 49 players rocking up, with our top 8 consisting in order of Storm, Grixis, Prowess, Amulet Titan, Storm, Grixis, and Omnath Walks.
Yeah, Omnath Atraxa walks. So Atraxa has found her way into the Omnath shell, which is kind of interesting. We do have a deck we wanted to talk about here, and surprisingly, it's not Storm, despite putting 3 in the top 8.
Yeah, our lovely deck here is Amulet Titan. Now, do you know how Amulet Titan works?
They put Amulet in play, and then they do some stuff, and then you're dead. That's been my experience playing against it.
Yeah, I watched this a bit last night when it was on. There was Escape Shift resolved that kind of put more triggers on the stack than I could kind of scroll through while watching it on Modo. It was very sweet to see. And there was a cool Valakut win as well, using Fast Bond and Bounce Lands with a Valakut to just burn your opponent because you have a Dryad of a Elysian Grove in play.
Yeah, this deck is super sweet. Like, it's obviously porting, Amulet Titan over from Modern, but, you can't play 4 Primeval Titans, so you have to play a diverse spread. There's been a few people in the Discord, in the Lands Discord, sort of refining these Amulet Titan lists recently. We had Michael Leslie make the top 8 of the Maze event, the Invitational, and then this one was Hamish finishing in the top 4 of the VFN. So it's putting up results, and it's doing it in a different way to most of the Lands lists, so it's cool to see something new. And I think this has just sort of tipped over recently because we've just started to get that high density of Amulet effects. Obviously, Amulet
did pick up the Wandering Minstrel and Horizon Explorer from some recent sets.
Yeah.
And Lumra, I believe this was last year Lumra came out, and Lumra's got some combos in Pioneer and CDH. So I think it's kind of blending the Primetime decks from Modern with the Aftermath Analyst with these Lumra piles from other formats as well to kind of make just an all-in combo pile going on.
Yeah, when they, the deck can be a little fragile in my experience, like just a well-timed Thoughtseize or whatever can sort of sometimes, as with all synergy decks, sort of make it stumble. But when these decks get to go off, a really great home for those bounce lands, like the Golgari Rot Farm style Karoo lands, because obviously, they come into play, they untap, you get 2 mana immediately. If they bounce and you have more land drops, you can just replay them and do the same thing. So really good home for those. I've seen these decks do some crazy things, like I've seen one with an Amulet in play and no lands, nothing else, just an Amulet in play, untap, well, not even untap because nothing's tapped, but, start the turn and then end up the turn with, a Lumra and 10 lands or something stupid. Like, they just go off. When they go off, they go hard.
Yeah, I've definitely died to unsuspecting Amulets from my end. Thinking that I'm safe, and then next minute you're dead.
Yeah, super sweet lists, and I hope all the pilots, Hamish in particular, keep refining these ones, and we see them in top 8s moving forward.
Yes, unfortunately, Amulet wasn't able to take out the Invitational with Storm putting 3 in the top 8 and putting 1 in the first place slot here.
Yeah, we're hanging out for the all Storm top 8. I'm not sure if there's that many Black Lotuses around to support that, but on Magic Online, why not?
All right, just rounding up this week. If you want to find out some more events, we do have a wrap up of where you can find events across Australia to play in, whether it be online or in paper. And a special thanks to Raj, Zach, Billy, Varun, Michael, Henry, Lockie, and Ariel this week for giving us results. You have anything else you want to add?
Just, really hanging out for that all Storm top 8. So I think Storm has taken down, 7 out of 7 events since the pointing. So yeah, I'm just really hanging out to see how many can win next week.
Yeah, I believe every event Melbourne players have had access to, whether it be in paper or the VFN, Storm has put something in the top slot, except for maybe the Friday VFN was the one night off. Maybe they were having a night in or out for dinner or something, but every other event's been taken through by Storm.
It's honestly disappointing dropping one event there.
Yeah, I need a D point, Storm.
Hello everybody, it's me again. If you like this video, feel free to give us a like and subscribe. We've just passed 200, which is really exciting, and we appreciate all the love. But yeah, give this video a like and subscribe. It helps us a lot, and we'll see you next week. See ya.